how we can position different elements over our web page, we are going to move away from floating and look at positioning. So floating has the advantage that with the help of floating we can place a different element either or the left side or on the right hand side, and you will see if we expand the page like this, so all the elements just float all the way to the assigned position. Okay, so let's get rid of this floating tag. Let's just save it and refresh it. Okay, so we are back to our normal page which does not have any positioning at all. So now we are going to we are going to assign the position of the element using a new property that is called as position, and you can see there are various values that we can assign to this property. So we will start off by relative. So an element with the property position and value relative in position relative to its normal position, and we can use various properties like left right to set the position of this particular box. Now let's say I want that this green box should move to the right side, so for that I just have to write this comment. Let's just save it and refresh it. So you will see that my green box has moved 200 pixels to the right side. Now you must be wondering that why I had used the left property if I want to my box to move the right hand side. So basically mentioning the left property here indicate that we want to create some space on the left hand side of the box, so automatically our box will move to the right hand side. Now if you want to your box to move to the left side, so you just need to place a negative symbol before your number. Let's just save it and refresh it. Cool. So our box has moved all the way to the left hand side direction. Okay, let me just make it as plus 10. Okay, and similarly you can make your box move to the top and the bottom direction as well as. So let's put some top property, and let's say we want some space from the top, so we want some 50 pixels space from the top, so our box will move in the downward direction. Let's save it and refresh it. Okay, cool. Now you can see we have these two elements which are overlapping each other, so we might want which element should appear at the front. For example, in case I want this blue box should appear at the front, so we have another property for that is called as Z index. So in the second box I will write this statement. So let's write this position is to relative, and then we will use the property which is called as Z index. So the tag or the section which has the highest Z index value that will be displayed at the front. So let's say this first section, which is the green box, has a Z index value of 1, and the second section, which is the blue section, has a Z index value of 4. So in the case the second section, which is the value box, will appear at the front because it has highest Z index value. Let's just save it and refresh it. Okay, so now my blue section or my blue box has appeared at the front with the help of Z index value. Now if I want that this blue box should be transparent, or should I see the content of this Now you can specify a particular value between 0 and 1. So if we place 0 value in the property, so my box has become completely invisible. It's still there but we can't see it. And if we provide a value of 1, so we will see now my box is completely invisible. It's not even transparent. So you have to provide a value inside this opacity property between 0 and 1. So let's set the value as 0.5. Let's just save it and refresh it. Okay, now you can see this blue box has become a little transparent, and now I can see the content of a green box as well as. Okay, so I hope that was clear. Now let's see some of more position that we can use on our web page. So let's, instead of this relative position, let's put the absolute position. So let's remove this from here because we don't require these properties. Now let's just save it and refresh it. Okay, so you will see the second section, which is the blue section, has gone behind the first section. So if I increase the width of the second section, let's say, let me make it as 400 pixels, save it and refresh it. Okay, so you can see the blue section is still present, or it has gone behind the green section, and that is absolutely positioning like it take the object you are positioning out the flow of the page. So here also you can use the left and the top properties to adjust the position of your box. So let's say I want my box should move to the right direction, and I am creating the space from the left hand side. So let's say 200 pixels. Let's just save it and refresh it. So you can move your box accordingly with the help of these left and top properties. Okay, so the last one which I am going to show you is the relative one, or you can say it the fixed one. So instead of this absolute, let's put it fixed. Let's save it and refresh it. Okay, so you will not see any changes. So what I will do, I will just increase the height of my second section or this blue box. So let's make the height as 1000 pixels. Let's save it and refresh it. Okay, so you will see as soon as I scroll down, so the green box will always stay at the same position. So that is the rule of fix. It is very much similar to the absolute one. Like it take your object that you are positioning out of the flow of the page, and that is the only difference, that the position will be fixed. So it does not matter whether you are scrolling the page or not, the position will remain fixed. And this type of positioning you use when you are creating a menu. So let's say we have a menu on the top, and if the user scroll down, we want that the menu should remain at the top. The menu should not become invisible, or it should not go to the topmost side. So for that you can use this fixed positioning, and it will remain at the same position. So let's just quickly recap what we did in this video. So in this video we have seen about the positions property and various position. We have seen like relative, fixed and absolute position. Also we have seen about the z index, like if we have some elements which are overlapping each other, so we can control which elements should appear at the front using the help of z index. Also we have seen opacity, where we can make a particular element transparent by providing it a value between 0 and 1, so that was all in this video. In the next video we will be looking about the margin in detail. So we will see you in the next one. Thank you.